something that needs a little fixing on Far Point Farms.
Hey guys, it's Eric. Hey, as part of the upgrades we're doing here and the repairs we're doing here on the garage, I decided I needed a new workbench, and so I picked up this. This is the Harbor Freight multi-purpose workbench with a light and an outlet. Really good deal, even in 2022. I picked this up for $99. I know back 2 years ago, sometimes you'd catch them on a super coupon for $79. Those days, my friends, are over. So I feel like I got a pretty darn good deal on it. Some of the reviews I've read on this are that it is actually pretty stable, although the one that they had on display at Harbor Freight was a little wobbly, but that there is a lot of setup time. In fact, most people saying it took over 3 hours to put it together. I hope that's not the case, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to set this thing up and I'm going to install it, and I'll give you kind of an overview of it once it's put together. But what I'm going to do, and this is a little different than what I normally do, but because I'm not going to film a 3-hour video, I'm going to put the camera into fast mode, where I condense this down. And I'm just going to go ahead and listen to some music to myself while I assemble this. You guys will get to see that playing out. And hopefully, if you're going to buy one of these and put one together, you'll get a little bit of information about how this goes together. Let's do it. And at the end of the sped up version of assembling it, we'll do a look over and I'll show you how it operates, how big it is, give you my impression of it. Because as a mechanic, certainly it looks a little flimsy, or at least it did at the store, but most reviews, like I said, they're pretty proud of this thing. Let's do it. so that's the end of page 1. One thing I definitely want y'all to notice is I'm not super tightening down anything. I'm only finger tightening it. That is a trick that I have learned long ago as a mechanic, and it will save you a whole lot of trouble. Because if I start tightening a corner down and then I try to move on, if it's tweaked, if it's at an angle, then it becomes very difficult to line up the holes. So I will get this mostly assembled, and then I will go back and tighten everything down. And that, my friends, will save you a lot of time. So let's move on to page 2. Okay, so I pretty much have the base done. I've got my slides in, center slide, and you can see it's still very wobbly. I'm going to put the drawers together, and then when I've got those installed, I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything here before moving on to the top. And honestly, we're past the halfway point already. So got the drawers in, and they're working nicely. Got this all tightened up, so it's pretty squared up. You might catch, especially if you're watching this on a home computer or a laptop instead of a cell phone, I'm smiling a bit. First of all, I'm having fun assembling this stuff. I'm a mechanic, so to me this is therapy. But what I'm really smiling about is that my dad, who passed away about a year ago now, he bought one of these when he just turned 70 and put it together in his garage. Now, my dad was not mechanically minded like I am. And he lived in Georgia, south of Atlanta, and it was midsummer when he bought this thing. And I remember him telling me over the phone about this adventure, you know, and how frustrated, and he's pouring sweat, and he's struggling with this thing, and it took him hours and hours. And as I've been assembling this, and you know, I've just kind of learned the things you do and do not do when you're working on stuff or building stuff as a mechanic. But I can imagine my poor dad just frustrated and ready to, you know, ready to strangle the creator of this device here. So I'm having fun while I'm doing this. I keep thinking back to who my dad was and how he was around building projects like this. So let's go ahead and continue. We're almost done with page 2. It's time to install our upper shelf here, and then page 3 is pretty much just laying the wood in place. So this is going along really quickly. I'd say we're about 45 minutes in at this point, so nothing too crazy. You'll have to let me know, you know, this is going to be the sped up version of this, but you'll have to let me know if you want to see the long version. I suppose I could post it maybe in 2 or 3 parts for those of you who would really like to see how this thing goes together. But it's a lot of it is paying attention to detail, the you know, having the seams in the right place, having the pieces in the right direction. So far that I've counted, I've made 2 screw-ups. The last one just happened. I did not put the bottoms, these little pieces of press board, into the drawers before I put the back piece on, and you're supposed to have them in there because they won't fit in once it's installed. So that's the second screw-up. The first one was one of these legs was backwards, or I can't remember what it was, but it was really early on, and it was because I didn't have the orientation really when I first put that first piece on. But well, let's keep at it. that is the end of the network. Pieces. George resolves this time on page 3 here, which is a pretty quick page. It looks like install our backboard, install our top piece, install our leg, our top, and our shelf. This is moving along the left side, less than an hour and a half short. Let's go. my brothers and sisters, is that took about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 40 minutes, and I like it. It's just what I needed for this corner of the shop, or this part of the shop. It's got a little light here, its own little individual on-off switch, and it plugs into the 3-prong outlet that's there. That still leaves 2 plugs open, which is kind of cool. I mean, I'm probably going to hang a charger off of these pegboards. I have a bunch of extra hooks for these pegboards, but Harbor Freight does sell a pegboard assortment kit, you know. But the little drawers open and close nicely. I did have 1 extra bolt, not bad. And oh, no, I actually had a couple extra, didn't I? All right, just a few extra. I'll put those in there and hang on to those for life. In the manual, you know, it was pretty well laid out. There were 1 or 2 small pieces that I wish they had a picture of because it was a little hard to see whether they wanted the curve of the metal going up or down. But it all worked out in the end. And it provides an awful lot of space. It's all the way it's very sturdy. It's not going anywhere once it's all tightened up. So pretty happy. The only thing that I did have a problem with, the bottom here flattened out, but you can kind of see the top there. The boards were a little bit bowed, probably from sitting on the back shelf. Maybe they stacked them too high, who knows. But no, I'm really happy with it. I'll do a follow-up video once I've got it loaded with stuff. And this whole area is going to be loaded with stuff, so it'll kind of be cool to see what the shop looks like, what this corner of the shop. And this is kind of engine building area for us, so this will be maybe carburetors and smaller components hanging out on here and getting repaired with a nice light that's there, soldering, stuff like that. But we're going to be doing pressing and parts washers and stuff like that. So this little area here that I reclaimed from the forest is now going to be used for that. Well, I guess that'll do it for today, my friends. I'm Eric. This is Farpoint Restorations and Repairs. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe think about liking and subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Take care.